You can automate your follow-up, or you can automate your failure. Because most automations feel robotic, and robotic does not build trust. I built it, grew it, and I sold it. I'm John DeLaurier, and I owned a roofing company for almost 10 years. We operated in 2 markets in Georgia. We sold millions of dollars of roofing and home service. We were almost always the most expensive contractor in both markets, and we still won. Close rate was strong, our profit margins were very strong, and our reviews were strong. Not because we were the cheapest, not because we had better shingles, but because we built trust. And today we're going to talk about something that almost nobody in roofing talks about: automation. Maybe you do, but just not the right way. Specifically this question: which automation actually sells roofs? Because automation is everywhere now. CRM systems, email follow-ups, text messages, AI tools. It's very confusing. There's automated reminders. Most contractors are using automation the wrong way. And when you actually use automation the wrong way, it actually reduces trust. And when trust goes down, response goes down. When response goes down, sales go down. So today we're going to break this into 3 parts. First, we're going to talk about the trust problem. Second, we're going to talk about the biggest automation mistake most contractors make. And third, we're going to talk about how right automation actually sells jobs while you sleep. Let's start with something simple. I want you to think about this question. Who would you trust more? A message from someone you already know, or a message from a random number you've never seen before? It's a simple question, but the answer tells you everything you need to know about automation. Let's make this real. Just had a roofing contractor come inspect your roof. They measured it. They took photos. They walked you through the problems. They showed you the flashing issues, ventilation issues, maybe chimney cricket problem. They explained the solution. They sent you an estimate or presented at the kitchen table. You've been talking to John, the sales rep. He's your sales rep. You've been texting him. He called you from his number. You recognize the number. There is familiarity. There is trust building. Now, a few days later, you receive a message. Hey, this is John, just checking in to see if you have any questions about your estimate. You recognize the number. You recognize the name. You recognize the conversation. That feels normal. Now, imagine a different version. A random 6-digit marketing text number or some weird automation number. Hello, this is roofing company marketing system following up on your estimate. Same message, same idea, completely different feeling. One feels human. The other feels like spam. Humans trust familiarity, not automation. Familiarity. What is familiar to you? That is the psychology behind this entire conversation. And this is where most companies get automation wrong. Automation should scale trust, not replace it. Most companies treat automation like a marketing blast. Different numbers, different platforms, different senders, different voices. And every time that changes, the relationship resets. The homeowner feels like they're talking to a different company. But the best automation does the opposite. It continues the conversation. Same phone number, same text thread, same email address, same relationship. Now, the homeowner thinks one simple thing: John is still following up with me. Even though some of those messages are automated, the trust stays intact. Let's talk about the biggest mistake contractors make with automation. They automate messages instead of automating relationships. There's a big difference. Anyone can send automated text, but if those texts break trust, they do not help sales. In fact, they hurt sales. Because homeowners today are extremely good at recognizing spam. They ignore it. They delete it. They block it. But when a message comes from someone they already trust, they respond. This is the psychology of communication. And it matters more in roofing than almost any other industry because homeowners are not buying $20 products. They're buying $15,000 decisions. Trust matters. Now let's talk about follow-up, because this is where automation becomes extremely powerful. Here's the truth. Most deals are not lost. They're abandoned. Sales reps follow up once, maybe twice, but they just stop after that. Why? Because humans avoid rejection, and it's not the same thing as sitting at a kitchen table.
Here's how roofers make it home for dinner every single night without losing a single sale, even when they're one-man shows. Automate your communication with ProLine, the only communication-first CRM for roofers. Because when you fix your communication, you'll sell more jobs. Your weekends will smell more like sunscreen and backyard barbecues than that crappy gas station coffee. And all you got to do is ask these roofers.
Or we had about 200% growth, and I attribute that to to incorporating ProLine.
But just with one automation, I was able to get 25 Google reviews.
It's been absolutely insane how quickly we were able to grow. Now, ProLine's not going to win the beauty pageant, but it will save your Saturday. Now, back to the show.
Humans get busy. Humans forget. Automation never forgets. Automation never gets tired. Automation never avoids uncomfortable conversations. And when automation continues the conversation from the same phone number, something powerful happens. The relationship stays alive. So let's walk through a scenario. Monday, you run an inspection. You send an estimate. Tuesday, the homeowner's still thinking. Maybe they're talking it over with their spouse. Maybe they're waiting on insurance. Maybe they're comparing contractors. If nothing happens, the conversation dies. But imagine something different. Tuesday afternoon, they get a message. Hey, just checking in to see if you had any questions about the roof inspection. Thursday, they receive another. Hey, let me know if you want me to walk you through anything about the estimate together. Next week, they receive another. Just wanted to see if the timing for the roof project makes sense now or later. Here's the key. All these messages feel like they came from the same person because they did. The same phone number, the same thread, same relationship. That is powerful. Eventually, the homeowner replies, Hey, John, I'm so sorry I haven't gotten back with you. We're ready to move forward. That happens all the time because timing changes, but most contractors disappear way too early. Now, here's a zinger. The companies winning in roofing don't follow up more. They follow up longer. Longer wins. Automation makes longer possible. Now, let's talk about selling jobs while you sleep because this is where things get interesting. If your follow-up relies on humans remembering, it will always be inconsistent. But when follow-up runs automatically, it never stops, which means conversations stay alive, which means opportunities stay alive, which means sales can happen when you're not working, late at night, on weekends, weeks later, months later. I personally sold jobs more than a year after the first estimate. 17 months was the longest one. 17 months. And the only reason that happened was because automated follow-up kept us present. We were still there when the homeowner was ready to buy. That is the real power of automation. Not blasting messages, not marketing spam, relationship continuity. That phrase matters. Relationship continuity. Let's talk about why most contractors are not doing this. It is not because the technology doesn't exist. The technology exists. It's because they do not make it a priority. They rely on memory. They rely on sales reps. They rely on sticky notes. But humans forget. Humans avoid uncomfortable follow-up. Humans get busy chasing the next lead. Automation removes those problems. It only works if it keeps the relationship intact. Same phone number, same conversation, same trust. Now let's bring this all together. Automation can help you sell more jobs, but only when it feels human. The best automation does three things. It keeps the same phone number, it continues the same conversation, and it strengthens the same relationship. Because the goal of automation is simple. Stay present until the homeowner is ready to buy. When you do that, something amazing happens. Your sales process works even when you're not working. Your follow-up never stops. Your conversations stay alive. And your business sells roofs while you sleep. That is the automation that actually sells roofs.